We just got one of the craziest Marvel leaks of all time with tons of crazy details about Avengers Doomsday, Secret Wars, and the Fantastic Four first steps, including a Black Panther recast, Planet Hulk, God Emperor Doctor Doom, and so much more. We got to talk about it. Now, this leak all comes from some concept artist that worked with Marvel in the past. Apparently, she was doing work with them for the Fantastic Four, the first steps, and then two Avengers films, and either accidentally uploaded them early or wasn't aware that they're supposed to be private, and she was just trying to put them on her resume. The website has been absolutely sniped by Kevin Feige now. And since I personally like having a YouTube channel, and hopefully you guys want me to stick around, I'm not going to be showing the images in this video because I do not want Kevin Feige coming for my head. I will be showing other fan-made images and comic panels that directly correlate to what this concept art showed though, because it's absolutely crazy. Now listen, in no way, shape, or form is concept art definitive. We see official concept art all the time for movies that just never actually ended up getting used in the final product, but a lot of this is for actually Secret Wars, which makes me think they're actually going to go in this direction, because obviously if they're having Doomsday being written now, they have to know where the story is going to end in Secret Wars. And at the very least, this is confirming a ton of characters who are going to appear in these movies since they appear in the concept art. Let's get into it. The first image I'm going to go over is an image of Doctor Doom sitting on a throne in his God Emperor Doom outfit that you can see pictured above here with all the white. It looks exactly like this version from the comics. He's sitting on a throne in what looks like a very medieval setting, which is very fitting for all of these images really. It seems like we're going to be seeing Secret Wars take place in a battle world that is looking like a medieval world. And next to Doctor Doom sitting on his throne, we see Doctor Strange standing right next to him. Now it does look like a different dimension or a different multiversal version of Doctor Strange. He does not look like our version. The hair and everything's different, but it definitely looks like Doctor Strange. So he seems to be some sort of advisor to Doom in this scenario. There's a woman standing behind Doom in this image too that a lot of people are saying looks like Sue Storm. Maybe she's married to him in this alternate world that he built up. And lastly, in the same image, we can see Yelena standing off to the right, kind of holding some other guy in chains. The other guy doesn't seem like anyone important or recognizable, but who knows. The other image we need to talk about that kind of aligns with other leaks that we've been seeing, which makes me really believe this one is what's going to be happening in this movie, is we do see a new Black Panther standing in some form of Wakanda. We see him standing in front of a Black Panther statue in the back. The key thing about all of this is based on the suit the character's wearing in the concept art and on the file name of the concept art itself. The character's name is T'Chanda, which means we're going to be getting a brand new Black Panther, but a different person taking up the mantle. But this one's going to be from the past, it seems like, because if you don't know, T'Chanda was actually who was wearing the Black Panther suit during World War II, and I believe during that whole Black Panther Captain America game we're going to be getting, that's also who's taking on the suit in that game. So either through time travel, the multiverse, or a little bit of both, it seems like we're going to be getting a Black Panther, and I think it's very likely that this version of the Black Panther comes into whatever the one main timeline is at the end of all these movies and goes forward in the MCU. It's very clear that the MCU wants a new Black Panther that's not Shuri. We've been seeing rumors and leaks from the last couple months saying that Marvel has been looking into recasting a Black Panther, and people are like, oh, you can't just replace him, you already killed him off. Well, this would be a way to recast Black Panther, quote unquote, but really introduce him as a new character. People are saying it looks like Damson Idris from the concept art, who's this actor on the right, and they think that's confirming the casting. First of all, in concept art, if they know they're going to recast a character, oftentimes they just give out a random actor to base the art on. It doesn't mean he's officially been cast as the character. And second of all, I'm not going to lie, looking at the image, it does not look like this guy at all. I don't know where people are getting that. Before we get into the next leak, if you could take 1 second to drop a like on the video and sub if you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it. Let me know what you think of all these so far. Moving on, we got some Star-Lord stuff to talk about. There's two main images here. We're going to start off with one that's him and White Vision sitting on a couch. Just yesterday in my one video going over a bunch of Marvel news, I talked about how, yeah, pretty much based on comments we've seen from Chris Pratt, he's pretty much all but confirmed he's going to be in this movie. It seems like he's actually going to be one of the main characters based on this concept art. In this image of Star-Lord and Vision, they're literally just sitting on a couch chilling. They got like a pie and looks like beer in front of him. Looks like he's playing kind of a fat Thor role, but what I really think is happening is something way bigger. But let's talk about the second image with Star-Lord first, because the second image that contains Star-Lord is him sitting around a table with a bunch of the other young Avengers, including Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop, Cassie Lang, Billy Maximoff, and also Wong is chilling at this table. So based on these two images and the first one I talked about with Doom having the alternate versions of like Sue Storm, Yelena, and Doctor Strange next to him, people are thinking that at the end of Doomsday, he kind of pulls everyone into his new battle world and has a bunch of the Avengers like under his control in this new universe, leaving a certain group of members like Star-Lord, White Vision, it seems like Wong, possibly Reed Richards behind, and they end up going and rallying the young Avengers because that's all that's left to go and fight Doom and free these other Avengers that got taken into this battle world. I know that's very different from how things normally go in the comics, but I kind of think it's a great theory because we know they take main ideas from the comics but do their own thing with it. I think this is a perfect explanation of how this could all be working. But we're not even done with these images yet. There's a lot more and they keep getting crazier. One is of Hulk, She-Hulk, and Scar standing on a planet that, again, seems like it's set in a very medieval time. It looks like a very old time village. But the key thing in this concept art is everyone in the background is either as big as Hulk or it's a child that has green skin, seemingly looking like we're on a planet Hulk or some portion of the battle world, at least is like a Hulk village. How they're gonna tie this stuff in with the other elements of this movie from the concept images, I have no idea. But the fact that they're even thinking about doing some sort of planet Hulk is so incredibly cool in my opinion. I can't wait to see what they cook with this. Especially since in the image it's just like a regular looking Hulk with some warrior looking armor on. I can't wait to see Hulk just go absolutely beast mode in this movie. We also have another image of just Dr. Doom sitting alone on his throne. Again, he's wearing the more white God Emperor Doom outfit, but it looks very similar to this pose, honestly, except he's just regular size. In all these leaks, like I mentioned, we also got some stuff about the Fantastic Four, the first steps. Now, this is going to be a pretty big spoiler for something that happens in the movie, so if you don't want to hear that, I guess you can click away, but I feel like we all kind of knew this character was going to appear anyways. Yes, in multiple images in the concept art, we do see Sue Storm with Franklin Richards, her and Reed Richards' son, so it seems 1000% confirmed he's going to be in the movie. And in fact, in this concept art, he's actually wearing a Spider-Man onesie, which is just such a cool reference. I don't know how that makes sense in this other dimension if they have their own Spider-Man or what, but still just something that's so cool to have finally confirmed. Again, maybe they're just using that as a reference to the comics and the concept art. They're not going to actually use the Spider-Man onesie, but he's in all of this concept art. He's going to definitely be in the film. In this concept art, we also get our first look at Julia Garner as the Silver Surfer. Now, obviously, you can't really tell it's her in particular because, yeah, it's just a silver person, but you can definitely tell it is a woman Silver Surfer. She's standing on her very iconic board, and in the image, she's in front of some building that I feel like I should recognize, but I really can't. It looks kind of half destroyed, very dark and gloomy, and she's talking to Reed Richards in this scene. Now, noticeably in the concept art, we see a ton of like Sue Storm using her powers, the Thing fighting people, Johnny Storm flying around as the Human Torch. One thing that people have noticed is that just like in the trailer, there was absolutely no look at Reed Richards actually like stretching and using his powers at all, which I'm sure he's going to be using it in the movie, but it is a little odd in the way that in both the trailer for the film, everybody else used their powers except Reed, and in the official concept art even, everybody but Reed was using his powers. One of the big things also that wasn't shown in this concept art is anything Galactus related, so we don't really have a bigger idea of what he's going to look like, but again, a lot of the art was focused on them just kind of sitting around in a living room or dining room as a big family. And as I mentioned before, if you just do a search on like any other social media, pretty much looking up the name of Avengers Doomsday or the Fantastic Four, the first steps, you can probably find this, but it is very quickly getting nuked off the face of the planet. I really hope they follow through on this concept art in the movie. It honestly seems like the perfect way to bring all these things together and honestly looks amazing. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to hear a ton of Marvel television updates, make sure to tap the video at the very top of the screen, or if you want to see things that could ruin Avengers Doomsday, tap the video at the bottom.